My brother's fiancée revealed a deep, dark secret. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. Jordan, Marin whispers, fingers tight around my wrist. I need you right now. We're in my mom's kitchen, the one that smells like lemon cleaner and panic. Ribbons and place cards cover every surface. Dylan is outside with a rented tux in his hands, laughing into the phone like nothing in the world can touch him. In 4 days, he's getting married, and everyone keeps telling me how lucky he is. I'm the guy our family calls when something breaks. Flat tire, hospital bill, missing keys, a late night, don't tell mom. I'm not the loud one. I'm not the favorite. I'm just dependable. Dylan trusts me because I don't dramatize, and because when I say something is wrong, it usually is. Marin has been perfect since the moment Dylan brought her home. Perfect manners. Perfect timing. Perfect answers to questions she shouldn't have rehearsed. The kind of woman my mother, Carla, calls a blessing while already planning the photo angles. She looks at Dylan like he finally matters. But right now Marin's mask is cracked. Her lipstick is untouched, yet her mouth trembles. Her eyes flick to the window like she expects to see someone standing in our yard. When my mom's heels click down the hallway, Marin jerks like she's been shocked. I can't tell Dylan, she says, voice so thin I almost miss it. If you tell him before I'm ready, you'll ruin him. Ruin him how? I ask, trying to keep my voice level, trying not to picture Dylan's face if this ends badly. She pulls me into the pantry, shuts the door, and the world turns into darkness and canned goods. The only light is the glow from her phone as she opens a message thread from an unknown number. No name, no photo, just a gray silhouette. On the screen is a photo of Dylan walking out of his office yesterday, timestamped 4:12 p.m., and a line beneath it. Pay up, or he finds out who you really are. My heart kicks hard enough to hurt. Is someone stalking you? I whisper. Marin nods once, like a person admitting they're already drowning. It's worse than that, she says, and her fingers shake as she scrolls past earlier messages. Bank routing numbers, AP. Oh, box address, and a countdown to the wedding date. Then she lifts her eyes to mine and starts to confess. She leans closer and whispers a name I've never heard before. 2 years ago, Dylan is barely talking to anyone. He's working long hours, eating dinners out of cardboard, and calling our mom only when she guilt trips him into it. He's always been the soft one, apologizing first, smoothing edges, making sure nobody leaves the room mad. I'm the opposite. I don't soothe. I solve. Carla thinks solving is embarrassing. She likes problems that can be styled. If you can't fix it with a caterer or a new rug, she'd rather pretend it doesn't exist. Dylan learned early that the easiest way to survive in our house is to keep the temperature down. Then Marin arrives. The first time I meet her, she brings Carla's favorite flowers without being told. She laughs at the right jokes. She asks me what I do for work and actually listens to the answer. She's the kind of person who makes you feel seen, which is dangerous because it makes you want to trust her. Carla takes one look at Marin and starts using the word finally, like Dylan is a project she can close out. Finally, a woman with manners, she says. Finally, someone stable. Dylan eats it up because he wants, desperately, to believe this love story fixes everything. What I notice, though, are the tiny things that don't fit the picture. Marin never posts childhood photos. Not one. When Carla asks for baby pictures for the rehearsal dinner slideshow, Marin's smile freezes for half a second. She promises to email something, and then changes the subject by complimenting Carla's countertops. When Dylan wraps an arm around her in a family photo, she angles her face away from the window like she's avoiding glare. Last month, Dylan drags me to pick up invitations. Marin's phone rings while we're in the car. The screen lights up with "No caller ID." She doesn't answer. She turns it off entirely, like the call is radioactive. You okay? I ask. Spam, she says too quickly. Wedding stuff. Dylan chuckles. Jordan thinks everything is a crime. I laugh with him because it's easier than arguing, but my eyes stay on Marin's hands. They're clenched so tight her knuckles go white, and she's staring at the rearview mirror like she's counting cars. That's when the first envelope shows up at my apartment door. The envelope is plain, no return address, my name typed in clean black letters like it comes from an office. I almost throw it away, assuming it's another wedding vendor trying to upsell centerpieces, but the weight feels wrong. Too heavy for paper. Inside is a single photo printed on cheap glossy stock. It's Marin, taken from a distance, stepping out of a courthouse. The timestamp in the corner reads June 14th, 2019. Under it, in block letters, ask her about case 19 CR 4472. I read it twice, waiting for my brain to reject it as a prank. I don't know anyone who would prank me like this. I don't even know anyone who knows my address besides family. I drive straight to my mom's house, photo folded in my pocket like it might burn through fabric. Wedding prep is in full swing. Carla is barking at Dylan about napkin colors as if napkins can keep people from falling apart. Marin is at the dining table sealing envelopes. She laughs when Dylan teases her, and for a moment I feel ridiculous. Maybe someone is messing with her. Maybe an ex is jealous. Maybe this is nothing. Then a police siren wails somewhere down the street. Marin's pen slips. Her eyes go wide, not startled, hunted. She pushes her chair back a few inches, like she's preparing for impact. Dylan doesn't notice. Carla doesn't notice. I do. What's wrong? I ask, gentle. Marin forces a smile. Nothing. Just loud. When Carla turns away, I see Marin's left hand drift to her purse, which is sitting on the floor between her feet. It's not a cute clutch. It's a big, heavy bag with a zipper she keeps half open, like she needs to grab something fast. That night, when I try to bring up the photo with Dylan, he laughs it off. Jordan, you're allergic to happiness, he says. Marin's not hiding anything from me. And Mom? I ask. She hasn't met Marin's family. Not once. Dylan's face tightens. Her mom passed. Her dad's complicated. Complicated how? He shrugs. Life. Don't make it weird. Carla overhears and swoops in like a referee. We are not starting drama 4 days before my son's wedding, she snaps. If you have concerns, keep them to yourself. I bite my tongue until I taste metal. Later, Marin slips past me in the hallway and quietly says, Did something arrive for you? The next day the house is a machine that runs on wedding stress. Carla has a clipboard and a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Dylan is hauling boxes and cracking jokes like he can keep everything light by force. Marin stays polite, but her attention keeps drifting to her phone. It sits face down on the counter. Every time it buzzes, her shoulders jump. At noon, Carla sends Dylan and me to pick up cake samples. Marin stays behind to finish place cards. Dylan hums in the driver's seat, tapping the wheel. I've never seen Mom this happy, he says. She's happy she gets to host a show, I mutter. My phone vibrates. Unknown number. I ignore it. It rings again. Dylan nods. Answer. Could be the venue. I answer on speaker without thinking. A man's voice comes through, calm and almost amused. You got the photo, he says. Good. Tell her the price doubles tomorrow. My stomach drops. Who is this? A soft chuckle. Ask her about the storage unit. She'll know. The line goes dead. Dylan stares at me. What the hell was that? Probably a scam, I say, but it sounds like a lie. When we get back, Marin is in the living room, smiling at Carla while Carla makes her try on earrings. Marin's hands are shaking. I catch her eye and tilt my head toward the hallway. She follows me to the laundry room like a person walking to their own sentence. Did someone call you? She asks. Yeah, I say. He said storage unit. Marin's face drains so fast I swear I see it happen. She grabs the dryer for balance. Dylan appears in the doorway, confused. Marin? What's going on? She snaps her smile back on. Nothing. Jordan's messing with you. Carla waves a hand. Everyone is stressed. Stop feeding Jordan's paranoia, Dylan. Dylan looks between us, jaw working. Jordan, please. Not now. I want to shake him. Instead, I watch Marin swallow, glance past Dylan to Carla, and realize something. She's not afraid of losing Dylan's love. She's afraid of what happens if Carla hears the wrong thing. After dinner, when Carla is distracted with the seating chart, Marin corners me by the back door. Meet me tomorrow morning alone. Before Dylan wakes up, she whispers. At 6:07 a.m., I sit in a coffee shop off the highway, the kind with sticky tables and burnt espresso. I pick it because it's anonymous. No neighbors. No Carla. No wedding decorations. Marin walks in wearing a hoodie and sunglasses even though it's cloudy. When she slides into the booth across from me, she smells like mint gum and sleeplessness. Thank you for coming, she says. Her voice is steady, but she keeps her hands under the table like she doesn't trust them not to shake. I didn't come for you, I say. I came for Dylan. A flicker crosses her face. Pain, maybe, or relief that I'm not pretending this is friendly. I know, she whispers. That's why I asked for you. The waitress drops 2 waters. Marin doesn't touch hers. She watches the door every time it opens. Tell me what's happening, I say. Who is calling my phone? Who took a picture of you at a courthouse? Marin's jaw tightens. Before I say anything, you have to promise me one thing. No. She flinches, then leans forward anyway. If you tell Dylan right away, if you dump this on him without context, you'll ruin him. He'll try to fix it. He'll try to protect me. And he'll walk straight into it. Into what? I ask. She drags a breath through her nose like it hurts. Into a mess that started before I met him and should have ended years ago. I pull the folded photo from my pocket and slide it across the table. Case 19 CR 4472, I say. Explain. Her eyes sting, like she's fighting tears with brute force. She doesn't pick up the photo. She doesn't need to. I didn't plan to fall in love with your brother, she says. I plan to disappear. The words hit me cold. Disappear from who? Marin's lips part, then close. She looks down at her hands for the first time, and I finally see them. Raw cuticles, bitten nails, skin scrubbed too often. You think I'm too perfect, she says quietly. You're right. It's a costume. I hold my silence and let the pressure build. She exhales and says, my name isn't Marin, and that's only start. Marin keeps her voice low, like the walls can testify. When I'm 18, I get pulled into something stupid, she says. I think it's survival. It's not. She slides her phone across the table and opens a notes app with a list of dates. Not a diary, more like a timeline someone built for court. 2018. I'm working at a shipping warehouse, she says. A guy there, older, figures out I'm desperate. He offers fast cash for small favors. I start picking up packages, dropping them off, signing for things under different names. My stomach tightens. Fake IDs. She nods, shame flashing hot in her eyes. I didn't print them. I didn't make them. But I used them. A lot. And you got caught, I say. In 2019. She taps the photo date like it's a bruise. They charge me with forgery and fraud. The case number on your photo is real. Why is it sealed? I ask. Because I cooperate, she says, the words tasting bitter. They offer me a plea deal, probation, restitution, and a different kind of sentence. She waits, then says it. I wear a wire. My skin prickles. You're an informant. I was, she corrects. For 6 months. I gave them names. Drop locations. Bank accounts. It was a ring, money orders, prepaid cards, fake leases. I did it because I wanted out, and because I was terrified. She swallows hard and finally reaches for her water, taking a sip like she needs proof she's still here. When it's over, the prosecutor files to seal most of it. I finish probation. I pay restitution. I legally change my name. I move. I start over. Her eyes lift to mine. That's when I meet Dylan. I don't speak because if I do, I'll say something cruel. I'm not proud, she says. But I'm not hiding it because I want to trick him. I'm hiding it because I thought the past was done. It isn't, I say. Marin's fingers curl around her phone. Someone from back then found me 3 months ago, she whispers. And he wants me to pay for every name I ever gave. She opens the message thread again and scrolls to the oldest text. Send $2,500 or your husband dies like a hero. My mouth goes dry. Then Marin whispers. And he knows exactly where Dylan works. When I leave the coffee shop, I sit in my car for a full minute without turning the key. My hands are steady, but my brain is not. Marin's story makes a twisted kind of sense, and that scares me because it means Dylan can't love his way out of this. If I tell him now, he'll do what Dylan always does, rush toward the fire with good intentions and no plan. If I keep quiet, I become part of the lie. Either way, the wedding clock keeps ticking. So I do the only thing I know how to do. I verify. The county courthouse is all beige walls and fluorescent light. I stand in line behind people arguing about parking tickets and child support, and I feel ridiculous, like I'm the only one here for a love story. At the records window, I keep it simple. I need to look up a criminal case number, I tell the clerk. She slides a laminated sheet toward me. Public terminals are over there. If it's sealed, it won't show details. It takes 3 tries because my fingers keep sweating. But the docket loads. Case 19 CR 4472. Charge Forgery, F3. Fraud, F4. Disposition, plea entered September 3rd, 2019. Restitution, $18,640. Order, record sealed February 11th, 2021. That matches what Marin said, right down to the date range. My stomach unclenches a fraction. Then I scroll. Entry, August 19th, 2022. Probation violation hearing set. Entry, September 7th, 2022. Bench warrant issued. Entry, September 12th, 2022. Warrant recalled. I stare at the screen until the words blur. Marin told me she finished probation. She told me it was over. Maybe it was paperwork. Maybe she missed one meeting. Maybe she's ashamed of the slip and doesn't want Dylan to see it. Or maybe she's still leaving things out. I print what I can, the docket summary, the sealing order date, the restitution amount, and the machine spits out paper that feels heavier than it should. In the lobby, my phone buzzes with a new text from the unknown number, showing my printout. My blood turns to ice before I can even breathe. The text says, "You're looking in the wrong place," and I freeze. I don't go back to Carla's house. I can't. If I walk into that circus with this in my head, my face will give me away, and Dylan will press until something breaks. Instead, I drive to my apartment and call Marin from the parking lot. I don't even say hello. "Storage unit," I say. "What is it?" Silence. Then her breath catches. "They told you that." "Yes," I snap. "And now they're texting me photos of courthouse printouts. So tell me." Marin's voice drops to a whisper. "There's a unit on the east side. I rented it last year. Just extra stuff." "Under your name?" Another pause, longer. "No." My grip tightens on the steering wheel. "Marin, I couldn't use my name," she says, and the shame comes back, sharp and quick. Some places still flag it. The background checks. I didn't want Dylan to know, so You used his identity. I finish, disgust rising in my throat. "I used his address and his name with his consent for mail before," she says fast. "Like packages. He said it was fine. I didn't think." "You didn't think a blackmailer could turn it into a noose?" I say. She makes a sound that's half sob, half apology. "I didn't put anything illegal in there," she insists. "It's just old paperwork. Copies. Stuff I didn't want your mom to find during wedding prep." "Stuff like case documents," I say. "Yes," she admits. "And the letter from the prosecutor's office confirming the seal. I was stupid. I just wanted it out of my apartment." My mind races through worst-case scenarios. A unit in Dylan's name full of evidence of her fraud case, sitting there like a trap. One anonymous tip and my brother's life gets dragged into a courtroom he never asked for. Then my phone buzzes again. It's not a text this time. It's an email sent to my work address I never give out. Subject line, East Side Unit Number 1127. You have 48 hours. Attached is a photo of me at the courthouse, standing at the public terminal. My workplace is a small nonprofit. I never list that email anywhere. Someone is watching me in real time right now. I sleep maybe 40 minutes, if you can call that sleep. By sunrise, I'm running on coffee and adrenaline, replaying Marin's words until they lose meaning. At noon, I meet Marin in my apartment parking lot. She refuses to come inside, like my walls aren't safe. She hands me a grocery bag full of receipts. "Here," she says. "This is what I've been paying him with." Inside are money order stubs, each one torn clean at the perforation. $2,500 on November 18th, 2025. $2,500 on December 18th, 2025. $2,500 on January 18th, 2026. The purchaser line is blank, but the payee is printed the same every time. ES Holdings. There's a memo line, I say, scanning the last one. Marin nods. He made me write the same thing every time. I read it out loud. Unit 1127. My throat tightens. He's building a paper trail tied to Dylan. "I know," she whispers. I panicked. I drive to the post office address from the earlier text thread. It's not a house. It's a strip mall with a shipping store wedged between a vape shop and a nail salon. I don't see Marin's blackmailer, but I do see the P.O. boxes, metal doors with tiny locks and tiny secrets. On a bulletin board is a business card tacked up crookedly. Background verification. Discreet. Fast. No name I recognize, just a phone number and the same letters. E.S. My chest goes tight. Background verification, is exactly the kind of thing Carla would hire without blinking. I head to the storage facility on the east side. A gray sedan mirrors my turns for 3 miles, always 2 cars back. When I slow, it slows. When I change lanes, it changes. Cameras track my car as I pull in. A keypad stands at the gate like a bouncer. I park across the street and watch. Unit 1127 sits halfway down the row. The padlock looks new, shiny, expensive, not something Dylan would buy. The old lock is gone. I'm staring too hard when a car rolls into the lot and slows, idling near the gate. The driver doesn't get out, but the window lowers an inch. A voice, soft and familiar, says, "Jordan, you really shouldn't be here." The voice belongs to Carla. My mother steps out of the gray sedan like she's arriving at a gala, not a storage facility. Sunglasses, perfect hair, rage controlled into something sharp enough to cut. "Get in your car," she says through her teeth. "Now?" "Why are you here?" I ask, trying to keep my voice low. Cameras stare at us from poles like metal birds. Carla's smile flickers on. "Because you're spiraling, and you're going to ruin your brother's life over a rumor." "It's not a rumor," I hiss. "Someone is extorting Marin. They're watching me. They have photos." Carla doesn't blink. Marin is dramatic. "Wedding jitters. You always fall for the sob story." I pull out the money order stubs. "This is $7,500 in 3 months. Memo, Unit 1127. Carla's eyes flick down and back up. For half a second, something like recognition flashes there, and then it's gone. "You don't understand what you're looking at," she says. "Then explain it," I challenge. She leans closer, voice silky. "I will explain this. You will not go digging and embarrass this family. Do you hear me?" I hear it. I also hear, underneath it, fear. Back at my apartment, Dylan calls. "Mom says you're chasing Marin's ex," he says, laugh tight. "Tell me you're not doing this right now." "I'm trying to keep you safe," I say. Dylan exhales hard. "Jordan, stop. If there's something, Marin would tell me." My jaw aches from holding back words. "Meet me tonight," I say. "Just you and me." He hesitates. "I can't. Mom scheduled a rehearsal walkthrough." Of course she did. When I hang up, I notice my door isn't fully shut. The deadbolt is turned, but the latch is off by a hair. I step inside and smell cologne that isn't mine. My desk drawer is open. The grocery bag of receipts is completely gone. My phone buzzes, Marin calling, breathless. "He moved the lock," she says. "And Jordan, I think I finally know how he found Dylan." "How?" I whisper. Marin whispers, "Your mom hired them, and they're blackmailing me." I don't sleep. I sit on my couch with my lights off, watching the street reflection in my window like I'm waiting for someone to walk by. Every creak makes my heart kick. By morning, I've made a decision I hate. If I blow this up by yelling, "Marin is being blackmailed," Carla will turn it into a scandal about Marin's character. Dylan will defend her. Marin will shut down. And the blackmailer, whoever he is, will vanish with the leverage still in his hands. So I pick the uglier option. I keep the wedding moving long enough to catch the person twisting it. Marin meets me in my car behind a grocery store. She looks smaller than she did in the coffee shop, like fear is subtracting from her. "I can't do this alone," she says. "You're not," I tell her, and I call the precinct's non-emergency line. I don't ask for a miracle. I ask for guidance. 2 hours later, I'm sitting across from Detective Ruiz in an interview room that smells like old coffee. Ruiz is calm in a way that makes my panic feel childish. He asks Marin for permission to verify what he can, and she signs a consent form with a hand that barely steadies. Ruiz studies the money order stubs, the emails, the photo of me at the courthouse, and starts building a timeline. "Extortion is a crime," he says plainly. "If someone is threatening harm to force payment, we can act. But we need contact. We need the person to show their hand." "What about the storage unit in Dylan's name?" I ask. Ruiz's eyes sharpen. "That's leverage," he says. "And it's also a way to frame your brother if this goes sideways." Marin's face crumples. "That's what I'm scared of," she whispers. "He'll think I used him." I swallow hard. "He will," I say, honest. "Unless we get ahead of it." Ruiz leans back. "Here's what we can do," he says. "You tell me where the next payment is supposed to go. We document everything. We make the exchange controlled." Marin checks her phone, then shows us a fresh text. "Rehearsal night. Parking lot. Cash only." My stomach flips. Carla will be there. Dylan will be there. Everyone will be there. Ruiz taps the screen once, eyes steady. Ruiz says, if he makes contact at the rehearsal, we let it happen. The rehearsal dinner is supposed to be a warm-up. A cute little run-through. Everyone laughs. Everyone clinks glasses. Everyone pretends tomorrow isn't a cliff. Carla turns it into a production. She has a microphone. She has a slideshow. She has a speech full of words like destiny and perfect match that make my teeth hurt. Dylan looks happy anyway. That's the worst part. He looks like a man who finally believes he gets a peaceful ending. Marin sits beside him, smiling, hands folded, spine stiff. I can see Ruiz across the room near the bar, blending in the best he can without actually blending at all. He gives me one small nod. Wait. At 8:41 p.m. Marin's phone lights up. Her face goes blank. She shows me the screen under the table, outside. Now. Cash. I stand, forcing my legs to work, and walk toward the side exit like I'm taking a phone call. Dylan follows because he always follows when he senses me carrying something heavy. Jordan, he whispers in the hallway. Why are you acting? Marin used your name for a storage unit. I cut in, brutal because there's no time. And someone is extorting her with it. His face twists. What are you talking about? I pull the printed docket from my jacket and shove it into his hands. Case 19 CR 4472. Plea date. Sealing order. Restitution. The money order stubs. The email with my courthouse photo. Evidence stacked like bricks. Dylan reads, blinking fast. This is her. Marin isn't her first name. I say. She changed it after the case. His mouth opens and closes. She lied to me. She panicked. I say. And now someone's threatening you. Behind us, the side door creaks. A shadow crosses the hallway light. I don't see a face, just a hand holding a plain envelope. Ruiz is there in an instant. Badge flashed low, voice firm. Sir, step back. The hand jerks. The envelope drops. It bursts open on the tile, cash, folded tight, and a printed contract titled Prenuptial Agreement, with Carla's signature line highlighted. Carla's heels click into the hallway like a countdown. What is this? She demands, then sees the paperwork and goes pale. Dylan looks from the prenup to Marin, and something in him shuts like a door. Dylan looks at Marin and says, I can't marry you tomorrow. The room goes silent, and that way crowds do when they smell blood but don't know where it's coming from. Carla's guests keep smiling for a second too long, then start looking at their phones. Dylan doesn't yell. He just stares at Marin like she's become a stranger mid-sentence. Marin, he says softly, tell me you didn't use me. Marin's eyes fill, but she doesn't run. I did, she whispers. I thought it was harmless. I thought I could clean it up before you ever knew. Carla snaps back to life. This is exactly what I was afraid of, she says, voice loud enough for nearby tables to hear. My son is being manipulated. Mom, stop, Dylan says, but his voice is thin. Ruiz crouches, gathering the spilled paperwork with gloved hands. Nobody leaves, he says calmly, like he's asking people to stop at a red light. Carla bristles. Excuse me. Ma'am, Ruiz says, still polite. This is an active extortion investigation. The word extortion lands like a grenade. Conversations die. A chair scrapes. Someone whispers, is she going to jail? Marin turns to Dylan, pleading. The threat started 3 months ago. I've been paying because he sent photos of you. I didn't want you pulled into it. Dylan's face pinches. So you lied to protect me. I lied because I was ashamed, she says. And because I was scared of your mom. Carla's laugh is short and sharp. Don't blame me for your crimes. That's when Ruiz opens the dropped envelope again and pulls out something I didn't see the first time. A receipt from a shipping store, dated October 22nd, 2025, for background verification package, expedited. The payment method is listed, Visa ending in 4413. Carla's face twitches. That isn't. Ruiz raises a hand. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step aside. Dylan looks at Carla, then at me, then back at Carla. Mom, he says, voice cracking. Did you hire someone to investigate her? Carla's eyes flash. I did it for you, she says. I did it because I knew something was off and you wouldn't listen. And you gave them my information, Dylan says, horror dawning. You gave them everything. Carla opens her mouth, and for once nothing comes out. Ruiz stands and turns to me, expression unreadable. Ruiz slides me an invoice, and my mother's name is on it. The next morning the wedding venue is quiet, like it's holding its breath. The flowers arrive anyway because contracts don't care about heartbreak. Carla tries to talk her way out of it with charm and tears, but Dylan won't take her calls. He comes to my apartment instead, eyes bloodshot, voice flat. He sits on my couch like he doesn't know where his body goes now that his life has moved. I keep replaying every moment, he says. Every time she dodged a question. Every time Mom pushed. Every time I told you to stop. I don't gloat. I can't. You were in love, I say. That makes you brave and stupid at the same time. He lets out a rough laugh that turns into a swallow. Did Marin really think using my name was harmless? She thought she'd have it handled before you ever knew? I say. And she was wrong. Dylan nods once. I asked her to meet me. Public place. No, Mom. They talk for 2 hours at a diner across town. He tells me later that Marin doesn't minimize it. She doesn't cry to win. She says, I'm sorry, like it costs her something. She hands him a folder with every document she has. The name change order, the sealed case confirmation letter, restitution receipts, and the text screenshots with timestamps. Dylan doesn't forgive her. Not yet. But he doesn't destroy her either. Ruiz moves fast. With Marin's statement and the money order trail, he gets subpoenas for the shipping store records and the P.O. box registration. He explains it in plain English. We follow the paper. We follow the calls. We make the threats stick to the person making them. Carla finally shows up at my door, mascara streaked, furious and frightened. I was protecting him, she insists. You were controlling him, I say. And you hired someone who turned your fear into a weapon. Dylan sends her one text. Do not contact me until you're in counseling. He postpones the wedding indefinitely. Not canceled. Not rescheduled. Just paused. Like he's putting his heart in a safe until he knows the combination. A week later, Ruiz calls me with an update I didn't expect. Your mother isn't being charged, he says. But the guy she hired is. My lungs finally unclench. Her message is one sentence, and it makes my eyes burn. Marin's message is simple. Thank you for not turning me into a headline. I read it 3 times before I can swallow. A month passes. The season changes in small ways. Fewer wedding ads on Carla's fridge, fewer boxes in her living room, fewer people saying congratulations like it's a spell. Carla starts counseling because Dylan makes it a condition of being in his life at all. When she talks to me now, she sounds unfamiliar, like she's learning how to speak without commands. Dylan and Marin don't get a magical reunion. They get work. They meet with a couples counselor. They argue about trust in plain language instead of romantic speeches. Dylan makes rules that used to seem unthinkable to him. Shared passwords, no white lies, and no big decisions made out of fear. Marin agrees, because she knows she doesn't get to ask for faith while holding back the facts. Ruiz keeps me updated in short, careful bursts. The background verification guy is charged, not because he's slimy, but because the threats are provable. Saved voicemails, the money order trail, the courthouse photo, even camera footage from the storage facility. Ruiz tells me the best part of the case isn't the drama. It's the boring stuff, receipts, timestamps, paperwork. The truth doesn't need volume. It needs proof. One afternoon, Dylan invites me to coffee. Not the frantic, secret kind, just coffee. He slides a small envelope across the table. Inside is a new key. My place, he says. If Mom ever tries to run my life again, I want a witness. I nod, throat tight. On the drive home, I pass the wedding venue. The sign still lists events. Life keeps booking Saturdays. Here's what I learned. Love isn't weakened by questions. It's protected by them. If someone asks you to keep a secret that can burn your future, don't carry it alone. Verify quietly. Document everything. And never let someone else's obsession with appearances write your contracts.